Hi, Shabbat Shalom. My name is Donna Sicherman, and I am the Director of Development for Atlantic Seaboard and CSY. Have you ever had the experience where you're going to the mall and you're trying to find a parking spot and it seems like nothing is available? As a busy mom, I often find that this is the position that I'm in. Very often I think about the story where there's a guy and he's looking for a parking spot and he says a very heartfelt prayer. He says, "Please God, help me find a parking spot." Just as he says that prayer, he finds a parking spot and then says, "Oh, never mind, we're good." The funny part about this story is he doesn't obviously realize exactly what brought him to that parking spot. This week's parsha, Parshat Shemot, we learn about a very interesting story. Good news in the parsha, very good news, is all of Egypt is no longer in famine. They're coming out of it, and they think it's going to be a positive time, a positive turn for the country. But there's one very interesting quote that we read. "A new king arose over Egypt who did not know of Joseph." Who did not know of Joseph? How is this possible that a new king coming into power at this time doesn't know of Joseph? Who was Joseph? He was the second in command in Egypt. He was the vice president. He brought Egypt with his ingenuity and his intelligence. He brought Egypt into a time of unprecedented success and wealth. He saved the entire country from death, from starvation. And yet, as we read in this parsha, a new king came into power in Egypt who did not know of Joseph. What's the relevance? What can we learn from this? When I spent a semester in Israel while in high school, my mother decided, I needed a weekend off from my program. I needed to get some laundry done. I needed some good food. She gave me the name and phone number of some cousins that we have living in Israel. I had never really heard of these cousins before. Being Russian, I think I'm related to half of the country of Israel, so I went to this house and I was greeted with the biggest kisses and hugs, the warmest welcome I could have ever imagined. My family took care of me from head to toe. They fed me. Not only did they do my laundry, they took me shopping. And for the rest of my time while I was in Israel on this high school program, not a day went by when I didn't hear from them. They would call me to ask me if I needed anything, if all my needs were met. The interesting thing was, at some point during this semester, I asked my mother, I get that we're family, and I understand that that's important, but why the kindness? They are going above and beyond what I ever could have imagined. You know what she said to me? The cousins, when their grandfather was in Russia during the war, my grandmother kept him alive. With the small, tiny rations she was able to put together, the food she gave to their grandfather is what sustained him and kept him alive. In telling me this, I understood something very important. No matter how much time has elapsed, even if it's generations and generations later, my cousins will always feel this tremendous amount of hakarat hatov, of gratitude to my family. I had nothing to do with it even. It was my grandmother. It had nothing to do with me. And yet, they couldn't give enough to me. They couldn't thank me enough. I felt completely unworthy of this. And yet, in this parsha, a new king came into power in Egypt who did not know of Joseph. This is not the way of the Jewish people. This is not how we're taught to operate. We are taught to understand that every gift we are given, no matter how much time has lapsed, no matter if it wasn't even to us, but our parents, our grandparents, our Alta Zadis, our Alta Bubis, we are still in a place of gratitude. And what makes this parsha so much more relevant is that it says this when Joseph isn't even alive anymore. Joseph has died. So it's not as though Joseph was needing the accolades. Joseph wasn't somewhere sitting saying, "Oh, this king, no gratitude." What is the relevance? That gratitude isn't about saying thank you. It's very important and it is a chesed, and we must say thank you to those that give to us. We must continually thank. There's no expiration date on it. but gratitude is important to the person on the receiving end because it transforms us. It makes us aware of all of the blessings that we have in this world. So I want to say have a sweet Shabbat Shalom, and may you and your families be blessed with a tremendous sense of gratitude.